Hey guys, welcome back to Amy Hines Real Talk. Today we are going to talk about cuffing season. I'm really excited to talk about this topic. So for those of you that don't know, cuffing season is defined by the Urban Dictionary as a period of time from October to February where people that are single are looking for a short-term partner to stick around with them through those colder months. And I understand the concept, but honestly, I am very excited to go through cuffing season solo. I've been doing this solo gig for a few years now, and I've gotten pretty good at it, and I enjoy it. And initially, I hated it so much. But I want to talk to you about that. This is where we talk real talk. We're going to do this pajama party style, no makeup, cozy in my house. So come join me and let's talk about real life things. So this is a real life thing. As we go into the holidays, I know historically for me, there have been many years through my journey, especially after my divorce, where it was lonely. The holidays were an awful time of year for me. I dreaded them. The holidays to me highlighted my loneliness, even if I was with somebody, though, and this is the point, even if I was with someone or dating someone, I would still be lonely. It would remind me of, things with my family that just weren't right or were broken or pain points and things that I felt like I was missing out on. So one of the things that was really helpful to me is I went to counseling a few years back and I said, listen, the holidays are coming up and I am dreading this. I feel like it is just a freight train accident waiting to happen for me, and I don't know how to navigate this, but I'm tired of this cycle. And my counselor gave me some really good advice, and I took it to heart. So she was talking to me about, so you see a pothole coming in the road, that doesn't mean that you can't swerve to miss it, right? You don't have to hit the holidays that way. So as I was going into the holidays, something she told me to do, she said, listen, you need to make a plan for yourself on self-care. So something we had discussed that I was really struggling with or having a hard time admitting to was that I did not know how to sit with myself. I was an expert at being busy. I was an expert at showing up for other people. I was an expert at doing anything but just sit with myself, because sitting with myself was very painful. Sitting with myself made me think of all the things that I had failed at. Sitting with myself made me think of all the people that were in my life, all of the dysfunctional relationships, all of the pain points. And it was just an extremely painful thing for me. So I did everything I could to avoid it, because we equate pain to being bad. Well, surgery is painful, but sometimes surgery is exactly what we need. So I finally reached out and got some help. And it didn't take very many sessions to really actually find some tools that I could put into practice. So going into the holidays, I definitely made a plan for self-care. For the first time, I got really excited about, what would a self-care plan look like for me? And I mapped it out and I wrote it down. So I made a meal plan for myself. I made a full-on holiday meal for myself, all of my favorite things, and really enjoyed that, and actually started my holiday a few days early so that I could snack on those items, through my time off. And it also included, I found a book that I was really excited about reading. I made a plan to get a massage and get my nails done, and then set aside an entire day for just me to sit with myself at home and not sit to think about how miserable I was, but to love on myself, to spend time with myself where I was appreciated. Because honestly, if I can't appreciate me, how am I ever going to be fulfilled when someone else is trying to appreciate me? I don't know the things that I need them to love on well because I don't appreciate them about myself. So it sounded kind of basic and I wasn't really excited about it, but as I went into the plan and actually executed, it was very beneficial for me. And I had a great time. It was the best time I had had in the holidays for many years, in fact. And it has been what I've done for several years since, and I look forward to that. Now, that's not to be confused with isolation. So I've gone through periods of isolation in my life, and those are extremely destructive. Isolation for me, that's where my thoughts spin out of control. I've been in isolation. I've been suicidal before. Many years ago, right after my divorce especially, that was a time that was very, very difficult for me. So being isolated was the last thing that I needed. So I don't encourage that, but I do encourage finding time making time, scheduling time to sit with yourself. Now, loneliness is something that we all experience, no matter how strong we are, no matter how independent we are. Loneliness is a very real thing. However, the cure for loneliness is not a person, it is purpose. Let me say that again. The cure for loneliness is not a person, it is purpose. So that spending time with yourself and that self-care time isn't to just marinate on all the things that are going wrong. That time is actually spent in discovering what your purpose is, finding what you do have, nourishing yourself, and allowing yourself to do the surgery and do the healing that you need to do. I know it's not a popular word, it's a huge F word, but forgiveness, even taking time to identify people that you need to forgive. Now, let's be really clear on this. Forgiveness does not mean that you are excusing their behavior. Forgiveness does not mean that you are excusing their behavior. Forgiveness does not mean that you are condoning what they have done or even letting them off the hook. But what you are doing is letting yourself off the hook. You are the one that's carrying all that baggage and all of that burden. So the holidays, right? The holidays are a tough time of year for many people. I know a lot of people get really excited about it, but it's also historically been a very lonely time of year for me. And I know that that's like that. You drop in the comments, or is that you? Is that your life? And are you experiencing that? Are you looking to find a bae or a boo to go through cuffing season with? And do you think that that is going to be an effective strategy for you to get through the holidays and not do the work that you may be needing to do? So before you make those decisions, I would really encourage you to stop and think, why are you picking the partners you're picking? Because if it's just so you don't have to be alone, take it from me and from my experience, I promise you that's not a good enough reason at all. If it's even just because you think their family is great and you want to be around family that's not as dysfunctional as yours, I get it. I totally get it. I've made those decisions myself in the past, but that was not the right reason to choose a partner. I promise you that. So, the cure for loneliness is not a person, it's purpose. But what does that mean? What does that look like? How do you find purpose? So, spending that time with yourself, that self-care time, is super important. So great, Amy, finding a person isn't going to fix my loneliness, but I need to find purpose. What does that mean, and where do I go, and how do I find this? So for me, it goes back to spending time with myself, that self-care time frame, and asking the right questions. So finding a tribe of people that will challenge you, that will encourage you to self-develop and find resources to get new information about yourself and about the world around you. So, for me, the Bible is the ultimate authority in my life, right? If I know whose I am, if I know that I'm the daughter of a king, I will then set my standards for myself and the people around me accordingly. And it is extremely encouraging. I don't actually find the Bible to be a restrictive, it's not a restrictive book of rules in my life. For me, it is a book of freedom. And it is alive and active. It is a way for me to get to know the one that loves me most and best. And through that, I've been able to learn how to love and appreciate myself in the way that I am made unique. I don't need to get on camera with makeup and my hair all done. This is a couple days hair and a sweatshirt and absolutely zero makeup, and that is okay. I want you to get comfortable with being that for yourself as well. And for the people around you, that you are exactly who you are, and that it is okay to learn this process without perfection. It doesn't have to be a perfect learning curve. That nothing in my life that has been super valuable have I ever learned without stumbling and making mistakes. So give yourself some grace on that. But dive into this journey hungry and look for people that will encourage you to that. I would encourage you to get into counseling as well, so you can learn to ask the right questions. I'll drop a link down in the bottom to a guy, Alan Robarge. I have been watching several of his videos, and there have been several of them. Some don't apply to me, but there are several of them that really do. So check out Alan Robarge and some of his healing work. Now, brace yourself. That's going to be some hardcore detox. That's going to be some hardcore self-healing work, and that doesn't mean you need to go through it alone, but it does mean you need to carve out the time to sit with yourself and ask the questions and really push through and let the pain do its work. Let the surgery provide the healing that you're looking for. So you have to be willing to go through some uncomfortable things, knowing that on the other side you are going to be better, and therefore you will eventually attract better. So allow yourself to detox. That was the first thing that I did is realize that I need to detox. I started treating myself like an addict, that I needed to be very strict about my intake and my output. And then self-care and healing. Drop in the comments, what for you, if you could plan your perfect self-care day for you, and I want you to really think about this. Ladies, gentlemen, all of you, if you could pick a self-care day for yourself, what would that look like? And that doesn't include having a bunch of people around you. This is a day where you sit with yourself and you love on yourself. How do you go about that? Do you get a massage? Do you go for a motorcycle ride? Do you go for a run? Do you read a book? Do you put on some good tunes? Now let's get back to that. The things that we take in, the things that we watch, read, listen to, it's not about having a set of rules to restrict us. It is about having boundaries that set us free. And I know for those of us that have not had boundaries in the past, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why would boundaries set me free? Boundaries exist to piss off the people that they are meant to protect you from. It is okay if you set yourself some boundaries that help you to restrict your intake, where you don't have things. How many minutes does it take you on Instagram to get all pissed off? How many minutes on Instagram scrolling does it take you to feel unhappy about your life? How many R&B songs do you listen to before all of a sudden you're feeling some type of way? That is not feeding your soul, that is not encouraging you to live your very best life. These are important things. They're not meant to restrict you. They're meant to set you free. I have worked very, very hard, and I'm proud of the work that I have done. But honestly, for me to go into cuffing season without these tools, I would be left to my own vices and detrimental to me. I have worked super hard for the peace and the life and the comfort that I have. And it's not comfortable because I don't do really hard work. I spend a lot of time on self-care and asking myself really introspective questions because I want to be better every single day. For my sake, regardless of the people around me, I want to like me. So that is time very well spent. And some of the work that I've been doing, to be honest with you, I could not do with someone else in my life. I could not do with someone blowing up my phone and hey, every morning wanting to hang out at some point in the day, and I got to make a plan around their schedule and things that they want to do, and when are we going to eat, and now I got to do my hair, and you mean I got to put on pants, and like, honestly, some of these things, it's more of a distraction than it is a help. I want to be the best person that I can possibly be for me first. And not because I'm trying to even prepare myself for another person, but frankly, I've got a big journey that I am embarking on, and I want to be ready, and I want to be full, and I want to be full of life, that I have good friends and good family and a tribe around me that can enjoy soaking up every morsel of this one life that I have to live. I want to live it to my very fullest. I've been given a lot of really good things, a lot of blessings, and I've learned a lot of hard things through a lot of really difficult situations. I want to share that with the world, and I want to make use of it. There's no reason to waste the pain, folks. Let the pain do its work. Don't waste the pain. So interestingly enough, I'm talking about going into cuffing season with all of these tools. I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and she's really frustrated because she was kind of on this journey as well of detox and recovery and self-care. And so she realized that just in the last 6 weeks, she's gotten herself into a relationship, in some ways because of cuffing season, but she's in quarantine, just like the rest of us are. So there's a guy that lives in her building that she knew was bad news from the beginning, but he's convenient, and she's lonely, and she's lost her routine. She stopped going to the gym. She stopped listening to a podcast. She stopped working for a while. She changed the music that she was listening to. She set aside all those tools that she had going into this. And now she found, even 6 weeks in, she's like, oh my gosh, my life feels like it is so derailed by this one person that I started spending time with, that I told myself was already bad news. Nah, this will never go anywhere. It'll just be a distraction. And it has distracted her to the point that now she has to move. She's looking to move buildings because she's gotten herself into a situation that she sees no other way out of. And this guy is actually kind of a stalker and really not the kind of company that is going to propel her forward, but could even do harm in her life. So loneliness can be a very dangerous thing. If we are making choices in loneliness, If we are making choices for cuffing season just because we don't be alone, that can really derail our purpose. So I encourage you, drop in the comments experiences that you have had where you have chosen somebody based on loneliness. How did that go? How did that work out? I know for me, I have so many stories that it did not go well. I would love to hear your experiences in this, and I would love to hear your thoughts as you're getting ready to go into cuffing season. What is your plan? How do you intend to go through this? Are you looking for a bae or a boo, or are you going to do the work that you need to do for you and find a way through the holidays that you have never experienced before, maybe to find a peace or a joy that you've never had before? All right, so my question to you, the challenge is, are you brave enough? I'm dropping the gauntlet. Let's do this together, guys. Let's make choices that are not about loneliness, but about self-care and the long term. What is best for us in the long haul? No better time like the present to do the work. Honestly, while we are in quarantine, this is the time to do the things where we want to see the change in our life moving forward. You want something different? You need to do something different. I'm in this with you. Drop in the comments. What is your plan? What does self-care look like for you? And let's have some fun talking through this and share this experience together. This is an ongoing journey for me. I haven't arrived yet, but welcome to the party bus. I'm looking in the wrong direction.